Hello and welcome to a new episode of Oh my god, I have reached 200,000 subscribers. Not quite 2 years ago I reached the 100,000 milestone and made a video on that occasion. A life with star size comparison. Let's see what has happened since then. At the end I'll show you something I'm working on right now. This is a more personal video. I will just talk about what is going on in my head. The special thing about YouTube is and remains the you. That means it allows you to produce what comes to your mind. If someone wants to see it, even better. The advantage is that you might see incredible creativity and amazing information. The disadvantage is that there are also a lot of people who produce nonsense, and many who take this nonsense for real. Of course, there are also people who fight against it. Information channels or debunkers. But as so often in life, the dark side of the force is quicker, easier, more seductive. Wisdom is to be clear about what you don't know. Stupidity already knows everything. Learning something new is hard. To believe something is easy. To be grateful to be made aware of a mistake because one has come closer to the truth is hard. To ignore this mistake because you want something else to be true is easy. Claiming your personal freedom is easy. To think about where this contradicts the freedom of others or the community is difficult. YouTube is not to blame for this development. The systems we have created to pass on values to future generations often fail. Someone who has problems in his life also often chooses the easy way. And let's be honest, life is not easy. So I have the idea not only to produce content, but also to let you participate in this journey of my life. That's why I think it would be time to introduce myself. I'm Chris, and I want to know how the world works, and why it is the way it is. And I want to make the many things we know accessible to people. For 14 years as an employee of a large industrial company, I tried to mediate between technicians and customers in a visual way, in user interfaces or visualizations. After that, in my self-employment, I even dealt with scientists. And I realized that this mediation is something particularly important, surely not easy at all. A scientist is also a technician, who is often too focused by his great expertise to put himself into the shoes of someone who is not familiar with the subject. Some scientists manage to do this anyway, and many YouTube channels have also made it a business. Science communicators. It requires a lot of research and it's an ungrateful task lately. Because many self-proclaimed experts in the comments who already know everything require a high tolerance for frustration. I know you should never read the comments, but I do it anyway. A good exercise for self-control. One channel I recently got to know that does an exceptionally good job in this regard is Cosmos Elementary. They got a quite famous Russian channel, and I've seen that there's also an English channel now. That is very well done. Does anyone know why galaxies have spiral arms? They made a good summary of what we know. A lot of good explanatory graphics are used, I love it. The links are in the description. Send them some love and encourage them to keep up the good work. I'm subscribed and I'm a bit envious that the speaker seems to have less accent than me. I know that is something that can be intimidating. I've long hesitated to speak in English in my videos because I thought my Austrian accent was too strong. And of course I have received some comments that reminded me of a certain Austrian person speaking English. And of course I was constantly encouraged to say a certain sentence. Okay, I will only do this once. Get to the chopper! There. I have done it. Satisfied? One thing I can say with certainty. I feel honored to have something in common with him. He is a major example of dedication. So anyway, let's have a look on what has happened since 100,000 subscribers. Back then, Star Size Comparison 1 and 2 had 15 million views each. How does it look now? Part 1 has 17 million views and Part 2 has 31 million views. Wow. Still, both are not monetized because of the music. I could easily exchange it, but I think we know I'd be destroying something perfect. When people write to me how much the videos have shaped their lives, I won't change anything. The world needs perfect things right now. I can only bow to the genius of Vangelis and thank him for creating these acoustic artworks. Without his Music in the Cosmos series, I probably would never have been inspired to make Star Size Comparison. Also, meantime, in addition to the famous people like Lawrence Cross and Fred Hayes posting the video on their social media, a new celebrity had come along. I didn't know who Sushant Singh Rajput was, but after he posted my video on Instagram and someone pointed out that I was the creator, here's what happened. I didn't think an Indian movie star would really want to meet me, but I thought about writing to him for a while. In any case, as soon as I would have been anywhere close to India. With all the Indian followers I got then on Instagram, I learned little by little who has been writing me. Sometime later I received the terrible news of his passing and the incredible circumstances. I don't know what is true, some say the official version is wrong, but if you can learn anything from it, it is that everyone has some sort of problems in his life, external or internal, that most people don't know about. This man looked like a model, was intelligent, had a technical degree, a kind heart and was a star. You would think his life would have been perfect. I can certainly understand his fascination with space. It gives you the necessary distance from what is happening here on Earth, and sometimes you wish for it very much. Success is also a double-edged sword. You wish for it, but it is often not clear what comes with it. Success on YouTube can mean that you must do something you like to do over time in a forced way, or that you are reduced to just one thing. I'm happy that so many people have enjoyed my films, but I'm afraid that I will never be anyone else than the one who made Star Size Comparison. I'm glad about that, but when you have been to a summit, there's always a descent. That's why you look for a bigger mountain. I think it is also important to realize that the road to success is built on failure. So here's a small overview of what has gone wrong since 100,000 subscribers. A professor gave a lecture on black holes at the Royal Institution and showed my video black hole comparison there. A great honor for me, but nobody knows that it is from me because he neglected to mention me. I contacted him. He apologized, but in principle it stays that way. It's a complicated story. I also made a video called Small World Challenge. It took me about a month to figure it out. I was sure that it will be well received and I was very excited looking forward to results. But sometimes people didn't understand what I was asking for and actually nobody is motivated to solve it. I also made several videos about conspiracy theories. And then I realized that I stressed the word in a wrong way all the time. I've always said conspiracy theory. This is very embarrassing for me and I can only say thank you very much for pointing out this mistake. I've also made a video that shows the age of the Earth by using a distance. I came up with the brilliant title How Far is Earth Old? I will never use ingenious puns again. The video performed very badly and I was constantly reminded that the title is grammatically incorrect. I have changed it. This brings me to the partial successes. I created Star Size Comparison 3, the vortex I promised. A mathematically perfect endless spiral from the smallest elementary particles to the end of the observable universe. Then a nosedive from the largest to the smallest. I am satisfied with it and it has already 500,000 views. It does not tell a story like Star Size Comparison 2, but I wanted to try a new concept. My next plan was to build it in virtual reality. Let's just say it was not a good idea. The people I did tests on are still recovering. The vortex is not for sissies. My next step was to create the Quickexplanations format. I think it was a good idea and I thank you for the ideas that were sent to me. However, often the content is too complex to be explained in a short form. I will try to find topics that urgently need visualization where this is possible. I also have opened a Patreon account back then. Meanwhile, 32 supporters have joined in, who donate from $1 to $20 to me. That's still too little to run YouTube full-time, but they are a reason that keeps me going. And also it gives me the opportunity to contact my fans in a more direct way and get to know some of them. My big thanks go to these fantastic people who actively support me. If everyone watching here would donate $1, I would be a full-time YouTuber from one day to the next. Until then, there will probably be irregular upload times. But there is a saying, if you reach your goals, they are set too low. So my next goal is an upload every Sunday. Let's find out together if I succeed or fail. Now to some videos that were successful. I never thought that I would make a video where people discuss if the Earth is flat. But I took it seriously for the movie Why Flat Earth Failed. Flat Earthers, on the other hand, apparently don't take Flat Earth seriously anymore. Because in more than 15,000 comments, no Flat Earther has managed to explain these simple observations that anyone can make on a flat Earth. They complain instead of explain, distract and dislike. They also explained to me that other Flat Earthers are paid by the government to make them look stupid. Conspiracy theorists accuse other conspiracy theorists of being part of a conspiracy against them. It is actually easy to understand. There is nothing more I can say about that. But as explained in the movie Thank You Conspiracy Theorists, they serve as a good example of what can go wrong thinking about things. In this movie I also collected and explained pretty much all real and fake pictures of the Earth. But of course no conspiracy theorist watches the movie, so they don't learn anything. For the movie Weird Pictures from Apollo Astronauts that still exist, I looked through 15,000 pictures of the Apollo missions and picked out the pictures that went wrong, blurred, badly exposed, cut off or somehow funny. And suddenly when you don't see perfect glossy images, you realize that it was real people who were in those situations. For this film I also worked with a composer, which was very fascinating and instructive for me, and made the whole thing more than a normal YouTube movie. In the movie Beauty of the Cosmos, I made my first 4K movie, and I think there can't be enough movies like this or the movie Real Images from the Solar System. Because I don't just want to give you information, I want to create a feeling. Feelings motivate you to learn more about reality than anything else. With star size comparison I obviously succeeded. So what does the future hold in store? Well, some time ago I was introduced to someone who was working on a size comparison app. Movies like mine have inspired him. He was very happy to meet me in person and get my opinion. I was so impressed by what he showed me that we decided to develop this app together. Because I think star size comparison must become interactive. But something was missing. It's impressive to have an interactive size comparison in 3D, but the special extra kept me busy. How can we compare even closer to life? Then I saw a video of the Corridor crew. While I was a bit annoyed at first that they just took my video for the beginning of their movie without asking or mentioning me, I was pretty impressed by what followed. Because the colleague in the film is absolutely right. It all becomes more understandable when these objects are in the real world. While they did this in the movie in post-production, I'm very happy that my new friend managed to offer this interactively in the app. What you see here is no animation. It already works. A version with planets and stars to zoom in and out will probably be available later this year. More details will follow in upcoming videos. He and I would be happy if you share your thoughts and feature requests with us. Probably my supporters on Patreon will be the first beta testers. Because for me it is always important to pay attention to the details. Because I'm 1.14.15 and the real world is incredible.